Should I do it? Like, should I put?
You have to click after the minus on the Zoom.
Okay, can you see it now?
You want to go to slideshow on the top of the menu?
It's on the slideshow.
It's not in presentation mode, is it? Oh, it is now.
It is now. Okay. I think I was covering the real estate incentive for buyers. I mentioned about resident permit for the buyer's spouse and for the children under the age of 20, 50% exemption of stamp duty. I reiterated about 100% ownership, so we do allow that if you buy property which is worth $100,000 in real estate development in Zanzibar, and 100% repatriation of sales proceeding after tax. Now I want to highlight the reason why Diaspora should consider investing in Zanzibar, because we have a special threshold. Previously, the diasporas were considered ex-foreigners, so they were entitled to have a capital threshold of 2.25 hotels, which is now after the new act being in place. The diaspora have been given a very specific amount that is doable for them to make sure they are attracted to invest in Zanzibar.
You're sharing screen, Fatma. You know, people are not seeing the slides, so I mean, you want to be aware of that.
Okay.
Fatma, sorry. At the top of your screen, can you see slideshow?
Yeah, it's
click actually, slideshow and then
can you see that?
Start.
I can't see.
Can you see that?
See your screen now.
I've actually shared the presentation. Let me try to do it again.
Yeah, redo it again. And then at the top of your screen, you will see slideshow.
You might need to go to share and then just share the different slideshow screen as opposed to the PowerPoint document that's open. So
yeah.
Share and then go back to.
Let me stop sharing first because it's not working. On my screen, it's very strange because on my screen, I could see I'm sharing the presentation, but I don't know what's happening on your end. So let me
start again.
Perhaps in the interest of time and all the people who are waiting for you to keep on presenting, could you provide us with a link for the presentation so that people can have access to it and follow it as you're going on with your presentation?
Sure. Definitely. I'll share the presentation. Let me finalize it. And as I mentioned to Diaspora, it's very important to understand that to Zanzibar, we welcome you with one hand, warm welcome. And we have specified specific threshold for Diaspora on top of the privileges Diaspora gets within the Department of Diaspora, which include work permit, long stay, and alike. And finally, we have streamlined the process of actually investing in Zanzibar, which now you could invest or you could put forward your proposal in the online platform. It's called Zanzibar Investment Electronic Window, which I will be also sharing with you. With the interest of time, I'm here if you need any further clarification or questions regarding investing in Zanzibar, but I'm sure now you understand what the incentive available in Zanzibar for you to grab on, but particularly on the real estate and high tech, we provide special incentive for that. Thank you so much, Mercy. And for all of you for your kind attention.
Thank you.
Apologies for technical problem. It's kind of weird, but I could see it seen. Yeah.
Well,
Again,
technology
Well,
sometimes has a few problems.
Thank you. We did get a general view. Thank you very much.
Thank you for that presentation. We're running a little bit behind time, so I would like to go directly to welcoming a testimonial from Diaspora, Miss Naomi Masambili. If she's on.
I'm here. Hello. Good evening, everybody, wherever you are, or good afternoon, or good morning. I'm not sure what part of the world you're in. If you're in the UK, it's nice to see you and be connected, and it's a pleasure to be invited. Thank you very much, Honourable Ambassador, for inviting me to share. My name is Naomi Masambili. I'm one of the second generation diasporas. I was born in the UK. My father's Tanzanian. My mother was born in the UK, but she's Jamaican by background. And for the past 4 years nearly, I've been back in Tanzania, investing as an investor and also as a diaspora. So I've seen some of the conversations in the chat, which very much touch probably on some of my experiences. And what I want to do is, I guess, share some of the journey from the business and from the personal side as well. And also, I guess, start to think about some of the skills that we have and the networks that we have from being in the diaspora and how we can utilize them, whether we physically want to be here in Tanzania or whether we want to look at how we can collaboratively work in Tanzania with different people as well in the area of business. So I'm going to share my screen. I've got some slides. So please, can someone unmute and let me know if you can actually see the slides, so we don't have any challenges. Let me just bring that down. So if you could unmute now and let me know if you can see them, because I can't see you.
Yes, all right.
Yes, we can.
Yeah, you can. Okay.
Yeah.
So as I said, I'm Naomi. That's me on the top of Kilimanjaro about 12 years ago. I came to Tanzania for the first time when I was 18 years old, having grown up in the UK, in the north of England, in a place called Bradford. Obviously, our family was much smaller. My dad made sure we were connected with the Tanzanian diaspora in the UK. But the family experience was very, very different. And so in coming to Tanzania for the first time with my mom and my younger sister, I guess we had that completely cultural shock of like going from this smaller nuclear family in the UK to a massive extended family, but also being able to see like the heritage of where my father grew up and the opportunities as well. And I think that started my thinking definitely around, okay, how can I do something in Tanzania? And as the years gone on, that's evolved in what I've done. So my background actually, I guess work-wise and professionally, I initially started working in research, in healthcare research for University of Manchester, University of Reading, and then I trained as a psychological therapist and worked in the NHS as a psychologist, and set up community-based services in London. And then from around 2012, I've been working in the areas of enterprise, inclusive business and social enterprise. So I've set up a range of different organizations. I've worked with hundreds of people who are setting up organizations either as a mentor, either sitting on boards, providing investment or funding to them. I am currently on the advisory board of a multi-year health research project around neonatal health and prevention of stillbirth, and Tanzania is one of the 8 countries. I guess entrepreneurism is in my blood, even if I don't want it to be. So I'm an entrepreneur. I am defined in that way. So I like to set up things. I like to look at challenges and problems and see how we can collectively come up with solutions for them. But alongside that, I've got a very analytical mind. So, you know, research is really, really key. And there's such a big area and gap in Tanzania for where we can develop R&D in many different sectors. I'm currently still linked with UK universities. So I'm an Industry 4.0 lab resident at the Fab Lab in Liverpool, John Moores, and we're doing some projects around farms of the future here. And as I said, I was involved in social enterprise and still am, but I used to be on the board of the School for Social Entrepreneurs, which is based in London and provides educational program and grant financing to start up and scale up social entrepreneurs. So I guess I came with like this background from the UK, and I'd been coming back to Tanzania wholly self-funded. I paid for my own tickets. I'd come, I'd maybe deliver training, I'd see family, and then I'd go back. But I guess my dad in around 2017 decided he was relocating back here. So the conversations and the thoughts became a little bit more serious around how we could develop projects in a business that can actually have a positive impact, but also have an economic impact for generating income as well. So as I said, in the UK, I set up an organisation. So I set it with my friend Chinua, and I was running that. So this is what our world looked like. And people have talked about technology a lot. You know, we set up Hacking Health UK. So we're running healthcare hackathons across universities, in private sector organisations. We got funding from the Wellcome Trust. So we set up a program called Neuro Champions to teach young people about the brain and mental health through play and games. Technology was very embedded in the work. And one of the biggest projects that I left was actually in the midst of COVID, where we received some finance and investment from the UK government to set up a digital platform to support the mental health of children and young people through COVID period, because obviously in lockdown, a lot of young people were inside the house. And let me flip that to now my life in Tanzania. So you can see on the top left picture there, that is my first experience, and I'm wearing my kanga very badly there, in Tanzania. And we were greeted by all our family. You know, that's a picture of my grandfather, my grandmother, and my younger sister as well. And where we do the majority of the work is where my grandfather's from, in the Mbeya region. I'll talk a bit more about that. Bottom left was when I came and did some training for doctors and nurses in Mtwara and Lindi region in introduction to psychological therapies. So initially coming back to Tanzania, I came with family, but then I started to come on my own. So I could start to, I guess, build my own confidence and thinking about where I could place myself, but also get to understand culture beyond family, which is quite challenging when you're second generation. You're protected in a certain way, you have those different experiences. And then from 2017, I've been coming back more regularly to look at areas where we could actually implement investment. And when I talk about investment, there's financial investment, which everybody's talking about, money, but it's not just about financial investment. It's about skills investment. It's about network investment. There's so many different areas that as second generation diaspora, we can invest in Tanzania, and we can look at how we can get a return from there as well. And sports at the top as well. My father was a referee for English basketball, so he's passionate about sports development. So I'm going to talk about one particular area of work that we've been working on, and a value chain, and that's in agriculture. So if anybody knows the Mbeya region, it's in the southwest of Tanzania, borders Malawi and Zanzibar. Not Zanzibar, sorry. I think there's been a lot of talk about Zanzibar, but Zambia, not Zanzibar. You know, the majority of output of the Mbeya region is agriculture. And we export the majority of our raw materials. So what that means is we grow predominantly organic, good quality raw materials here, and then they get exported and the value is added out of the country. So what that means is we have a value chain that stops at the point of the raw material. So none of the money that is generated through adding value, through processing, through retailing, is benefiting anybody in the local communities here within Tanzania. And that is the young people. Mbeya has an average age of 17 years old. That is families, that is farmers. And my sister's a chocolatier. So she's worked as an executive pastry chef in London, she's trained in Japan, in Paris. So she's been on the high end of hospitality and confectionery. And the region where we're working in Kiela grows cocoa, some of the best cocoa in the world, fine cocoa. But what happens is approximately 95%, if not more, of our cocoa is exported and processed in the global north. And nobody is processing it here at any kind of scale in Tanzania, and the benefits and the finances of that are not being felt here. Now, why should we care about that? And why is that a practical investment opportunity? Well, there's many points there at value chain where we can think about how we can invest That's with skills in the farms, if anybody's doing sort of like smart farming technology. That's with processing, that's with manufacturing, that's with, you know, developing and prototyping new equipment, that's with retail, sales, marketing, digital marketing. There's so many areas that are needed to be able to ensure that value chain and the value and the financing of the value chain can stay here within Tanzania. So we looked at like 3 challenges. There's a lack of origin producers, and that's producers and manufacturers. There was a lack of value addition that was happening. And on top of that, there's a lack of inclusive growth. So there was no jobs that were being created, and there was no skills that were being developed that could be beyond sort of unskilled manual labor. And you can see by that chocolate bar, that 6.6 is what Tanzania is getting. Maybe the 2.1 middlemen selling, you know what I mean, some of the traders. And then most of it is going everywhere else. And that model of chocolate is quite similar in a lot of different sectors as well. Yeah. So if you see that separation, there's actually a lot of opportunities where we can come in with skills, we can collaborate, we can work, and we can invest, and we can develop industries and micro industries to be able to generate more income and provide and develop good quality jobs, and also, you know, make money as well. And specifically to cocoa, the global, you know, cocoa market, and there's been lots of talk about cocoa recently, where prices have gone up exponentially. But it is worth billions, actually. We've got billions of it, it's worth billions. And that majority of that money is where you can see it's in Belgium, it's in Switzerland, it's in UK, it's in US. It's benefiting those areas. And we want to look at how that can benefit us here in Tanzania as well. So we set up a company called Livy Africa. We've been talking about it. Livy's actually the name of my 2 grandmothers, Lillian and Ivy. And we work on manufacturing, education, and R&D. And the production of ethical and organic products as well. Because one of the benefits that we have is we haven't over chemicalized, that's not a word, but chemicalized our land. We have a lot of organic produce, and there's a big global demand for organic and health foods as well. And we work in agriculture, so we have our own farms. We work in health and beauty. We do food processing, and also we do tourism to try and encourage more people to see some of the beauty of the areas that we're in. So these are the different areas and different sectors that we set up, and we registered the company here in Tanzania in 2000. So we have our labs, we have our R&D, where we develop our products. We have our farms where we do farming, organic farming. We also work with farmers, and we've got a Ready for Business program as well to promote organic farming. We make, and we've got manufacturing, so we do food processing, we manufacture beauty products. Mababu chocolate might be something that people have heard about. So this is one of our chocolate brands. And it's the first tree to bar chocolate brand, which means the tree, all the way from the tree to the chocolate bar, is all created within the same region. So it's single origin. So we take it from the tree all the way to the chocolate bar. And then we have our own cocoa bar as well. So people can come, they can enjoy like hot chocolate, they can enjoy like small chocolates, they can have tasting sessions. So within the past like 3 years, we've set up all of these different things. And our key areas are value-added manufacturing, education and training, and product development and research. And I would say in those areas in agriculture, but in other sectors, there is a big, big need. And I know we discuss and talk about technology a lot, and I've worked in technology, setting up platforms, setting up things, building hardware, but actually we do have to sometimes go to the basics as well. And we need to look at the things. And the key thing that everybody's going to do is eat food. We need food. So we need to look at the basics, and then we can look at how we can add those innovations to improve the processes in some of the value chains as well. So we heard from the TIC, and I also mentioned TBS as well. So we've got a certificate of incentives. I'm a foreigner, and you know, I know we can talk about being Tanzanian, but in practice, it is sometimes a challenge. You know, I'm a British citizen, and I'm a Jamaican citizen, actually through my grandparents' descent. So I'm here as a foreign investor. So we went through the TIC for cocoa processing as well. And so there's different, I guess, strategic organizations, and the TIC can help facilitate the links with some of those. You can then start to understand the licenses that you need, the processes that you need to go through, and do it directly from a government body rather than charlatans who will try and charge you maybe a lot of money and con you. So make sure you go through some of these reputable channels and speak to people, because they will provide you the information. And one of the key things for us was, how can we ensure that we've got quality, international quality for our products? And internally, the products, if you're producing food products or beauty products, you know, the standard tests are done by TBS, so the Tanzania Bureau of Standards. So we are the second chocolate company in Tanzania now that has a TBS license. Ivory is the first. They have it for one chocolate bar. We have 30 different chocolate bars, and we're the only one for dark chocolate that is registered with TBS. So what that means is we can export. What that means is we can service the local market, East African market, and the export market, and connect maybe with many of you as second generation diaspora who are in different countries, who can also support the retail and facilitation of some of the products that we're creating here. So some tips from our journey. Every step is learning. I'm here on the ground, and I would say that if you have the opportunity to come to Tanzania to be on the ground, it is really, really, really important. On a personal level, there's something that we don't talk about much, which is family tax. So family tax is like weddings, funerals, school fees, somebody needs money. And that's how remittance a lot of the time is sent. That's the relationships that are built. We need to start also talking about investment as well. And that's within families, and that's also beyond family. And those conversations are still in their infancy. And we talk about big investments like, you know, £500,000 or 5 million, but the impact that like £500, like £2,000 can have can be massive, especially at a rural local level, especially if the relationships have been built. So relationship building is really important. Learning and taking away arrogance that we know everything, because we don't. Let me tell you, I came and I was like, why is this not being done? This could be so much more efficient. And then, you know, after a few years, you realize why these things aren't happening. So having that open mindset. We've self-financed everything. So, you know, the companies I've worked with, you know, we've worked for free. I mean, my father, a total grafters, my mother's invested, my sister's invested, people have invested. So, you know, as a diaspora, we've set up this company through self-financing, and we've been very frugal around it. And I think that that's allowed us to learn lots of lessons on the way, but also it shows that there's different levels of investment, and don't take yourself out of seeing yourself as a role of investor because you think you need a certain financial threshold or a certain amount of money to invest. No, your skills, your network connections, and that ability for you to be able to learn is really, really key. Research and product development. I think one of those things in itself will set yourself apart, because sometimes of the art of imitation. Oh, that person's doing it, let me just do the same thing. So actually, being able to research, look at things in detail, and then develop new products and innovate. And because of the double lens that you have as diaspora of seeing Tanzania and seeing some of the challenges and seeing some of the opportunities and seeing some of the skills and benefits, as well as the UK or as well as wherever you are, utilize that dual lens, or maybe you've got multiple different lenses, because that's what sets you apart in different ways as well, in thinking about how things can be innovative. And innovation doesn't have to come up with something of a new invention. It might just be a new process. It might be taking something and implementing it at a different part of the value chain. And for developing productive capacity, it's really, really important that we have those innovative minds. Sorry, I think someone broke up. Yeah, creative minds. We started our business in the house, you know, and I think most people start their businesses in the house as well. And we've developed it and we've grown it from there. And we had our first sort of cocoa bar launch at Ngonga Beach, which is a hotel that's in Kiela. And that started our journey of getting the products out there. Then we had a product launch at Nani Nani, and Nani Nani is the big agricultural festival, and it was based here within Mbeya. I've got quite a lot of things to talk about financing journeys, because I do still think it is a challenge, having financing, working and looking at how Tanzanian businesses are financed. And that's why I think there's a real big gap and a role for diaspora to be able to support some of that financing as well and get a return on that, because the banks are very different to the UK. The funding organisations or the accelerators operate very differently to the UK. And so that knowledge and that awareness means that actually that friends and family, those networks, those other friends that you've got that aren't Tanzanian, that are interested in investing in Tanzania and trust you, and that's key, are really, really key in that investment process of business as well. We then launched our cocoa bar, we got our TBS certification. We've recently been part of a documentary which has shown like the small industry we've developed that was supported by the Kikwete Foundation and Azam documentary. So we've evolved slowly and we've learned a lot of lessons for setting up a business on the way. And I do believe that you can generate income here and you can build business more, but actually there are some challenges that we still need to work on that impact our ability to scale businesses at the rate that they need to be scaled. And one of the key things is also our international connectivity. You know, I have friends across the sub-Saharan Africa. The Nigerian diaspora is very strong. The Ghanaian diaspora is very strong. The Kenya diaspora is very strong. We don't like to talk about some of those things, and we need to make our diaspora strong. And we need to look at the things that we need to do, how we build those relationships, how we be able to develop bankable projects, you know, clear projects that can have mutual benefit for everybody involved. So these are some of the programs that we've done, sort of Ready for Business program for food production, where we've worked with some young women. You can see the little babies at the top who we've brought into one of our spaces as well to teach them about chocolate making at an early stage, with farmers, you know, building greenhouses from our local wood, so things doesn't have to be very, very expensive, taking the chocolate to the village, supporting sporting events as well. And for anybody who loves sport as a main career or a side career, there are so many areas where Tanzania has talented people, but football pitches are terrible. You know, sports facilities are terrible. So how can we improve them and also get equipment over here in a way that actually then starts to generate income rather than it just being donor focused? So going back to chocolate, this is our journey from tree to bar. So you take it from tree to bar. I invite everybody to come and visit us in Mbeya. If anybody wants to see and have a tour, you are very, very welcome. These are some of the products that we are currently selling. We currently have on the market: chocolate bars, chocolate bonbons, cocoa powders, cocoa nibs. And like I say, we work beyond chocolate. So we're processing spices, so we process ginger, we process in oils as well. And we're doing a lot of training to try and build a capacity within the local region. So that's it for me. If anybody wants to contact me, feel free. I'm on WhatsApp. This is my email or Gmail. If anybody has any questions, worries, concerns, I'm happy to share my experiences. And thank you very much for listening.
Thank you very much, Naomi, for that very, very inspiring sharing of your experience in Tanzania. I would like to welcome the High Commissioner.
Well, thank you very much, Mercy. Thank you, Naomi, and all the speakers who have already took the floor. Now we are ready to invite Honorable Minister. He has arrived, and I would like to invite him now to deliver his remarks. We thank you, Honorable Minister, for finding time to join us. I know you are traveling, you just arrived, but still you have found time to join in and speak to our diaspora. The meeting is attended by a big number of diaspora, and they're all eager and keen to listen to you. We've had so many questions on the chat room about special status. I thought this is an opportunity for our minister to update diaspora about this issue, which is very important to them all. So, Mheshimiwa Waziri, karibu sana.
Yeah, I'm muted.
You commuted, was there? You are still muted, Honorable.
All right. Okay. Now we figured it out. So I'm very happy to join with you today, and I want to congratulate His Excellency Ambassador Mbelwa Kairuki for organizing this. I understand that the turnout is very good, and the conversation has been briefed, and I listened in the past presentation. Very useful. I am extremely happy that the second generation of Tanzanian diaspora is getting organized. I'm very delighted and very encouraged that all of you are interested in, obviously, with your motherland, to be connected, and you want to make it. This is the spirit that one hopes that exists in our hope it can be passed on to another generation. As you may have heard from different presentations, it's very exciting time here in Tanzania at the moment. The government is putting together a package of policies that allows for you to make a living here. One, invest your capital here, but not only that, but get connected to your ancestral community. So, and I know that, and I wouldn't want to repeat what previous presentations have spoken about in terms of opportunities, but I want to talk about just one thing that the ambassador asked me to mention. You know, governments always struggle to put conditions, to create conditions under which the diaspora will be engaged with their motherland. And for a long time, there's a debate here, a policy debate, as how best we can do this. And for as long as this country has existed. And after a deliberation of the past 10 years, it has been decided that let's create a special status under which we take into consideration all the desires and ambitions and demands that people of Tanzanian descent abroad have always wanted. And we categorize in three baskets. One is economic or commercial. Another is a personal emotive connection to home. And therefore we created a package of certain rights that you can be able to access under this special status situation. So in the past, if you are a person of Tanzanian descent but taken up citizenship in another country and have a passport, let's say of United Kingdom, you would be required to apply for a visa and have restriction on duration of stay and maybe pay. So you are treated as a UK national in terms of entering the country and staying in the country. So this new special status, what it does is removes that. So you are allowed to come in at any time and stay here however long you wish, and you don't pay. So this removes the barrier of movement. It makes it easy for you to come home at a moment's notice and to stay here for as long as you want. We thought this is critical because in the past it was tragic that, for instance, you needed to attend an emergency situation here and you're required to apply for a visa. And when you come here, you want to stay for 6 months, but you're required to renew your permits and so forth. We felt that that is wrong, and that has been removed now. Also, Tanzanians who are living overseas and people of Tanzanian descent who have taken up citizenship in other countries always wanted to connect with the motherland. And the key word there is land. For us Africans, land has not only just commercial value, but also symbolism, that you own a piece of land under which you build your house and so forth. And it was difficult. It was not difficult. It was prohibited by law for a person who is not a Tanzanian national to own a land. Now we have removed that. So if you are a person of Tanzanian descent who has passport or citizenship in another country, you can actually own land here and transfer that land. And you can inherit land. You can pass it on to your heirs. We thought this was important, and that under special status, that also has been taken care of. There is an incentive, there is an investment package area for people of different citizenship to come and invest in our country. You have to apply, you have to be registered, you have to go through the process. But now, as a Tanzanian, you can actually come and invest and be treated as a local. So we thought this was critical as well. Also, you can come here and access financial services. You can open an account and run an account from here in Tanzania while you're living overseas, including other financial services, including insurance. You can take part in health insurance for you or other beneficiaries. We know that some of you have your grandparents in Tanzania whom you want to cover the health insurance.
Honorable Minister, you are muted.
Muted again.
Hiki kitu cha kumute kinatoka wapi? Amemnitika waziri.
You're still on mute.
All right. So my take guy ni mtu wa Yanga, unajua. Mambo ya ovyo ovyo tu alicho. Utopolo. Ndio maana anaitwa utopolo.
Zimbabwe.
You are muted again. You're muted again.
Kumute tena sasa.
Sasa ni Simba huyo.
Utoporo
Can you hear me now?
Yes, we can now.
All right, fantastic. I don't know why. Nadhani kuna mtu anatuhujumu. There's a person there who, somehow doesn't want me to talk. Okay, now it works. So we want you to be connected to home. We want you to contribute to your motherland. And this is a beginning. I know that we can do more. And it's an evolution. And it's a journey. I think that in the future, your kids and grandkids will probably find better conditions, but we have to start somewhere. And the government is doing all that it can to make sure that you are engaged. It's an exciting time here in Tanzania. It's an exciting time in Africa. We hope to leverage your expertise, your knowledge, your education, your network, so that you can contribute to your country. We're very proud as a country, as a government, that we have a very good group of people of Tanzanian descent who are interested in their country, who are curious about their country, who wants to make it better. You, as a country, you can have all the resources that you want, gold, diamonds, oil and gas, but the most reliable resources is your people, wherever they are. Tanzanian people of Tanzanian descent, we see them as a key resource for us in our development endeavor. So please remain engaged. Absolutely permissible to be curious, permissible to ask us of questions, to propose things that you think can make our country better, and we are listening. You are very fortunate to have Ambassador Kairoki there as our ambassador. As you know, he's accessible, and he allows these engagements. So that's all I can say for now, and I'm very privileged to see all of you. And I know that you have had a long program and many presentations and speeches. You probably, the list you want to have is the long speech by a politician. But for me, it's an honor and privilege to be with you. And I will speak to the ambassador so that when I make the visit to the United Kingdom, we can probably organize a get-together so that we can see each other and interact face-to-face. I do better that way than this, as you may have noticed. So thank you so much, and good luck. Right.
Thank you so much, Honorable Minister, for wonderful remarks. I saw a question here in the chat room. They're asking, when will the special status begin?
Oh yes. So where are we? All right, that's where are we? So in the special status, as you have noticed that I meant two key items. One, land ownership, and another is the entry into Tanzania and duration of stay. Those two things need change of law. We need to change immigration law to allow for a new category that would allow you to come in, a new permit, so to speak, or a new classification to allow you to come in without a visa, without paying for it, and to stay for as long as you want. So this is a new category that needs to be established under immigration law, and that has to go in the parliament. The second item is the land ownership. The law prohibited land ownership by non-nationals. We need to change the law to allow it. So those two components of special status are going to the parliament in June under miscellaneous amendment bill. And once we pass that bill in June, then we can announce the entire package of special status. So definitely around July, you can start to enjoy all these things that I've mentioned. So we are in the parliament now. Before this meeting, I asked where exactly it is, and I've been told that it's in the Attorney General, in the they call Chief Parliamentary Draftsman, so that these changes can be drafted into the legislative language. So that's the status.
Oh, thank you very much, Honorable.
Balozi, kama una maswali mengine unaweza ukauliza. I can take one or two more questions.
Okay,
related to this or not related to this.
Okay, thank you, Honorable Minister, for agreeing to take questions. Maybe Mercy, could you moderate if there are people with questions? Let's use this opportunity of having Honorable Minister. I know some questions might need his attention or response.
But there is a gentleman who's raised raised his hands 1, 2, or 3 times. Mohammed Said Abdullah. if you would like to pose this question now.
Oh, hi, everyone. Can you hear me?
Yes. Go ahead.
Yes.
Yes. My name is Mohammed Abdullah. I am based in UK. I work for Shell Energy in aviation oil. And my question directly to our Honorable Makamba. He used to be the Minister of Energy back in I think last year. He's the one that signed the MOU with Shell for LNG exploration in Mtwara, I believe so. What is the we talk about a lot in terms of investment. There is a group of people that have special skills who are outside this in UK and other areas. What framework you are coming with for us to be able to contribute in the future of Tanzania exploration in terms of oil and gas and other industry?
There's a massive static that I wish that if there's a way to write it in a text, it would be good. Because there's a massive static.
Can you be able to hear me now, Honorable?
Yeah, I hear you, but you are part of. There's a static.
What about now?
Yep.
Okay. Yeah. I'm going to introduce myself again. My name is Mohammed Abdullah. I'm actually based in the UK.
Okay.
And I work for Shell International here in the UK.
Yep.
And okay. I believe so. Back in 2022, you're the one that signed the MOU with Shell for exploration in LNG in Mtwara, I think.
Okay.
Yeah. We talked a lot in terms of investment that we need to invest back home. There is an area of us with the special skills. What framework that you guys are coming up to that we can be able to build with our skills rather than money?
No, I get it now. So I want to be sure if I got your answer correctly, that there are Tanzanians or people of Tanzanian descent who live overseas who have acquired critical skills that are needed in Tanzania. What the framework for them to be able to come back home and contribute, right? Is that correct? That's how. Okay.
That's correct.
Well, this is a good question because indeed one of the challenges that developing countries, including ours, have is precisely what you've mentioned. That there's critical areas with which human resource capacity is one thing. And if you have Tanzanian nationals or people of Tanzanian descent who live outside and who wants to come here, it should be easy, it should be possible, and there ought to be a program framework to facilitate them to be able to come. So for now, there isn't a specific one. What is happening now is a direct agreement between a company and an individual to come here. So, but this is something, it's a food for thought, it's something that we need to think about in order to make it possible for all you guys who wants to come back home and contribute to have a framework under which you are able to do that. Okay. I can take two more if there are.
Can we have a question from Dr. Alex Porine and I think Mr. Jindila?
I don't think I put my hand up. So Joe, maybe you have your hand up. Please go ahead.
Hello. Just wondering if anybody can see me. Can you hear me? You see me, yeah? Yeah, thanks. I think not particularly a question, but it's just my contribution to what's been happening. And I think to what conversation has been going on. First to begin with, it's just to say thanks to Honorable Minister and to His Excellency Member Kairuki and the whole team at the Tanzanian High Commission in the UK. For me, this is it's been a great opportunity. This forum, being a first generation diaspora myself, and I've got children who are second generation diaspora. So for me, these same things like this happening now, and these engagements and championing coming in from the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, and being initiated by our High Commission is something that I think is coming as a privilege, because it's something we're very familiar with. So yeah, I highly commend the High Commission on this, and I would like to introduce just say I'm a business director for a company, for an IT company, a very fast-growing IT company based in the West Midlands. Called Multiplex Digital Solutions, and we're working with globally sort of wider Europe clients like McDonald's. Probably very familiar with McDonald's. We have several systems for McDonald's corporate sector and the restaurants. And we've served much of the sector in the UK and Republic of Ireland. So that's something to be very proud to say here. But that's not going to be the case of pride. It's just to say that as Diaspora, we are reaching out to support the High Commissioner and the current initiatives coming from the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and the President, who's highly championing for diplomatic economy. So yeah, we have recently joined hands with the Commissioner to develop a portal, a digital opportunity portal for the Tanzania and the UK. And I think this is very much a vision of the High Commission. And though this is about to be launched at the beginning of mid of summer, July, I think some of you who joined the link earlier must have seen a video more the Tanzania link portal. Now, this probably is going to answer a lot of questions as what's been spoken here, because like second generation diaspora asking questions as regards to how do they get information, how do they get involved in Tanzania. Now, for me, I think this is being answered by the High Commissioner who joined the High Commission here at the back end of last year and straight away got into this task. Probably just to support that and to call on second generation diaspora and everybody on this forum. Just so you know, a lot of the questions raised here, Mohammed has raised a very brilliant question and about how the experts get engaged, how they skills on the ground in Tanzania. I think about the Diaspora Tanzania link portal, which is being championed by the High Commissioner, is approaching economic opportunities both in Tanzania and the UK. And one such sector we tackle is the job sector. So I think it will be up to the High Commission, the relevant parties and departments in Tanzania, working probably closely to the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, the Ministry of Works, and other wider sector like the TLC, but to get these opportunities showcased on this portal for the diaspora or second generation diaspora. And certainly, we'll be lobbying for these jobs and opportunities to be posted on here for experts. So, and probably furthermore, we'll be lobbying the policy that we get some sort of priority to the second generation diaspora who have got the right skills to contribute on the ground. So I think when that comes to you, Honorable Minister, and probably definitely through our High Commissioner, I think that's something we request that is championed and this initiative. Just on a quick one, again, we launched in the summer and just argue when we go out for the test and the pilots, we really invite all you second generation diaspora and everybody on the involved ground participate in our engagements. We will need your feedback, and I think for us that will be able to support what is being discussed here. I did be able to lend a hand to what we're looking to achieve as the diaspora. I think that was not a question, Honorable Minister, but that was a hand raised earlier, but I hope that is fitting well with the forum.
Okay. No, thank you. Thank you so much. And we hope that this can also be expanded and to provide information not only for the UK audience, but globally, and also can be used by different diasporas and not just UK one. And we support this initiative. We support all the initiatives that enables people to know more about our country and all the opportunities that exist and all the processes to be able to come here and do things. And I appreciate that you have made an effort to gather correct information and to link with proper authorities for you to be able to populate with all the accurate information. So I want to finally say that you guys carry the Tanzanian flag, and I hope that you understand and appreciate that responsibility. And we will continue to be in touch and to work with you to make sure that you have an opportunity to contribute. One thing that I wanted to say about the special status is that one last thing, it applies up to the 4th generation. So your kids and their kids will be entitled to the things that I've said. So even your grandchildren, even without setting foot in Tanzania, they will be able to access these rights that I've mentioned here. And I hope that we'll remain in connection with your motherland, and also your children will also do the same because this is our country. And I think it's moving in the right direction. I think we have a responsibility to make it stay the course and get to our promised land fast. So asanteni sana balozi.
Asante sana, Mheshimiwa Waziri. Thank you very much for your time. I know you have to rush to another engagement. Even though people are excited, I see many hands have been raised again. People are still wanting to ask questions. And Messi was telling me there was no female opportunity for female participants to ask questions. Maybe if there is one, would we kindly request you, Prime Minister, to take one?
Sure, absolutely. Absolutely. Sure, we'll do that.
I have 3. Jane, Santa Isaac.
Yes.
Jane.
Thank you. Thank you for the gender awareness. Anyway, I'm Jane Maneno, and I am a social worker in Milton Keynes. I've worked for the local government for the last 20 years in education and social care. I've got a question for the special status, just a quick one, and then the second one is to do with the health and social care sector. So what happens to the 4th generation in terms of special status? That's number 1. So the Honourable Minister. The question number 2 is, I would like to congratulate Zanzibar because I happen to be working with someone from Zimbabwe, and her daughter and some of our colleagues from one of the UK university went on an exchange program in Zanzibar. And I think there was one of the doctor there from Tanzania who is part of the doing that was really, really supportive. And I wonder, within my field, for example, we have students from Nigeria, we have within health and they come to study in the UK, they settle and have visa. I've supported a Nigerian student in my office. She now has a sponsorship license. My heart wishes for Tanzanian young people to have the same privileges, please. We need to think with health and social care universities, have exchange programs from our university in Tanzania within health and social care to come to the UK and perhaps to study in Tanzania for a few years, finish off in the UK because fees are very expensive. That way, we can get some of our people from Tanzania coming to work in the UK, and then some of our, our young people from here going also to Tanzania. Thank you.
No, thank you so much, and I agree with you. And thank you for being passionate about this and being the link. Obviously, there are some of these programs, but not enough. I would think that one of the value of being connected with you in these interactions is to let us know of these existing opportunities, can take advantage of them so that we can apply, so that we can join, and we remain open-minded about this. And here in ministry, we decided to establish a special desk on scholarships and exchange programs. For individual to run that desk, because I've noticed that we see a lot of opportunity here. You find where there's been is expired, we have to that is responsible education. We need to get coordinated to take advantage of opportunities that exist. So we are going to fix Ministry for in terms of coordination, but we need to know more about these opportunities from you. So what happened? Why inspiration? So, look, I mean, it's a good question. So far, we've set it up, but from the conversation internally, we said that 3 years of operating this, we will review. As I said earlier, this is money. I know that other people wanted and said it will be expanded scope. The government will how it works and how efficient. Will ask you guys, so a review for at that stage. What we can do.
Thank you very much.
All right. Let's go.
Yes, we can't hear you.
I'm sorry. I have another gender sensitive from Christina Kibuta. You've been back for a while.
Okay.
Hello?
Thank you. Yes, I'm trying. And I was the UK about. I did my master's in the UK, now I moved to Germany, PhD. And for me, I think the part that saddens me is the lack of opportunities back home. I feel like maybe from the little that I feel like the government is not really creating a conducive environment for us to go abroad to study. I'm doing chemistry, I'm doing polymer chemistry. There's a lot of technology that has not been applied home that could be very beneficial. But I feel like we lack the gap between policies and innovation. Like you could be in the lab, come up with these brilliant ideas, but then the applicability of it, maybe Tanzanian government has not created that conducive environment. So for me, the question is, what is the government doing to make sure that these that the skills that we are in Tanzania becomes a conducive environment that we can apply this to the betterment of our country? Thank you.
No, thank you. This is similar to the question that was asked in the very beginning by the gentleman from Shell International. In which I said leadership here has picked people from diaspora to come and serve, but I think we need to do it systematically. And so, but I take it as a challenge for us to create that database quickly, but then also have a framework. But I take it as an idea in which I'll talk to my colleagues.
Just a follow-up question: is there a way to follow up on the implementations? Who should we ask?
Normally, the way we work here in my office, I have a system in which everything that I say, which is in the form of a promise, it's written down. These people have, it's like a military here. It's written down. The next 2 days, they says, boss, you said this, this, and this. We've already written a letter, and it's going to come. So I have my own system of follow-up, and we definitely are responsible, and we will get back to you, or you'll see the results. But it's something that I've taken it up.
Thank you, Honorable.
All right.
Honorable
Sana,
Minister,
the final one.
can we hear from Barak?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can. Go ahead.
Thank you, Mr. Foreign Minister Makamba and our ambassador for organizing this very important step for diaspora to engage and communicate and get the information relevant. That's what they want to engage back home. So I've got one question, which is a follow-up for the special status. If I understood it correctly, the special status mainly is maybe for people who are from Tanzania. They have a link with Tanzania by birth and by relative. As we know, some people that are from Tanzania who came to UK, they came here and somehow they change even their status when they claim their residence in UK. Some of them they change from Tanzania. Maybe they claim they're from Somalia, from other parts of the world. Is that special status? Is it going to benefit them as well, or only those who are in their current passport to say they were born in Tanzania or from where they come from, and they claim the citizen here, even though those people who have come from Tanzania, but they are known as maybe from Somalia, Rwanda, but they're actually from Tanzania by birth. So I don't know if this special status like this will benefit them, or is only those who are proven to be Tanzania. Thank you very much for your time.
Okay, I have a guy. This is a very important question. I'm sure I understood. If Kisoka, you go up. Okay, Kisoka, you please come online and. Kuna watu waliojilipua wanauliza.
Yes. Mheshimiwa so kae leo mpaka muda tukuuza maswali yote yanakufaa baada ya wewe kukimbia.
Okay, you there? Kisoka.
Nipo mheshimiwa. Yes, mheshimiwa. Yes,
okay, you want to respond to that? Okay.
Yes, please. Briefly.
Okay,
yes,
go ahead.
Please. Yes, it's a very valid question, and also just to mention that during these questions are popped up from. Can you hear me? Can also popped up from other country, including Burundi, where the embassy has quite a number of individual diasporas who have Burundian or other nationality other than Tanzania. And because it is a very tricky one, we have referred this matter to immigration for during our special status setup, we can capture this information. But we need to confirm aware of existence of that class. And because it's also require a lot of technicality, including the vetting system, it has been referred to the immigration, and they are working on that. Not only just for UK, but also for around the world.
Thank you.
All right. So that's that.
Thank you for your answer. We're waiting for the card. A lot of people. This is also to follow up a touch in the second generation, the third generation. If the first generation they've changed their status, I mean that also follow up their second and third and fourth generation is they are originally of their motherland, which is need to be clarified in terms of the special status. Thank you very much for your answer. We humbly wait for reply for verification. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Minister. We would like to thank you for joining us with due regard that you had informed us that you had other prior commitments. We will now be taking questions that will be responded to by the other people who already gone through done presentations. So if we can have questions for the other presenters. Asante sana mheshimiwa.
Asante sana. I just have to go to the another. I have a pile of things that I need to sort out. So I wish I had you know, there's Balozi Kairuki knows it's 8 p.m. here, and I probably have another 2-3 hours before I go home. So let me. Otherwise, I appreciate very much this opportunity. Asante sana.
Asante sana mheshimiwa waziri. Thank you so much.
Asante sana.
Asante.
But Balozi, can I just contradict you in a second before Mr. Makamba goes? Balozi.
Yeah, go ahead.
Naomba nimuulize Mheshimiwa Makamba kama anaweza kujibu maswali ya sisi wa diaspora. Maana tuna maswali mengi sana na kwa muda huo aliotupatia hautoshi.
Ya, kama alivyosema mheshimiwa waziri, tunatarajia atafanya ziara huku Uingereza na atakuwa na mkutano na wanadiaspora. Nadhani itakuwa ni fursa nzuri ya kuzungumza naye na kuuliza maswali na yeye mwenyewe kuweza kujibu.
Asante sana. Ni hayo tu basi.
Asante. Okay, Messi.
Can we please have other questions for the presenters who came before? Starting with Mbarak, is still your hand? Is your hand still up, or are you finished? Mr. Mbarak, do you still have another question, or can we move on to Peter? Peter.
I'm sorry, my question was for the minister, but now I think it will be relevant to us, the other participant, as long as he'll be coming back. I think it's I will reserve that until when he comes back. Thank you very much.
I think there are questions in the chat room. I see. You may want to look into that.
Can we finish the hands that are still on before we move on to the chat room? And we have a different arrangement for responding to the questions in the chat room. Can we have Mr. Paul Simon Kili, please?
My name is Paul Simon Nkiligi. I'm Newcastle. Nilikuwa na swali kwa Januari Makamba, lakini kwa kuwa ameondoka, kwa sababu pia na mimi nilikuwa na swali kupitia kama alivyosema Mohamed, kwa sababu na masters in offshore subsea and pipeline engineer ambayo nimeipata Newcastle University. Sasa ilikuwa swali linamhusu yeye, lakini kwa sasa, kwa sababu ukiangalia sasa hivi mfumo wa serikali kwa Tanzania inatunyima fursa sana sisi wa Tanzania wenyewe kwenda kuparticipate katika project zilizo kubwa, lakini tuna uwezo wa kufanya kazi kama wale wanaotoka nje na zaidi ya wale wanaotoka nje. Sasa swali langu lilikuwa kwa Januari Makamba, So kwa sababu amesema atafanya mkutano, basi hilo swali tutamsukumia, kwa nini hawatupi nafasi za kufanya kazi kama Watanzania na kama wazawa au wazazi wetu waliozaliwa kule, bado si tuna damu ya Kitanzania. Shukrani sana.
Asante.
If I may respond to this question, I don't think we need to wait for the minister. Kwanza, we fully support the idea. The essence of having even this engagement is to inspire, to motivate, to encourage our diaspora to get involved with Tanzania's development. And one way is through participating in projects of which you have requisite skills to be able to take part on them. Now, how would we know Mr. X uko wapi, una skills gani? Kupitia registration kwenye ile portal ambayo Wizara ya Mambo ya Nchi za Nje imeitoa. There is that portal by the Ministry of Foreign Affairs whereby you are invited voluntarily to register, whereby you put your credentials, your education, academic background, and so on. It is through that the government may know tuna skill set kiasi gani, ziko wapi, tuzifanyie nini. Later on, there will be a presentation by Mo Deuji, and I met him last week, and he requested me to link him with Diaspora who have skills and knowledge in fintech area. He would want to either invest with them or support them to invest in that space, kwa sababu kuna big potential in Africa. But how would I know nani ana hizo skill set ambazo zinatakiwa? Sasa ni through registration kwenye ile portal, lakini pia kwenye hii Tanzania link ambayo imeelezwa hapa, tuta encourage watu wajiregister wakieleza na skill set zao na area zao za interest, ili tuweze kuzipeleka nyumbani to link with the relevant organizations. I've done this kwa muda mfupi niliokaa hapa. I've linked several diaspora with relevant departments in Tanzania, and they are doing great job. Wapo watu kwenye trade, wapo watu kwenye medicine, wapo watu kwenye masuala ya agri, social care, and they're doing a great job katika kusaidia nchi yetu, kushare knowledge yao, kushare skills zao. Na of course wengine they are not ready to be employed, but they can be engaged as consultants. Wengine wanataka tu opportunity ya kufanya presentation, kusikilizwa, kushare mawazo yao. Kwa hiyo we are open as I commission to engage with anybody ambaye anataka kuwa linked, kuwa connected. That's our job. We're here to do that. Let us know. Tuna dawati la diaspora hapa, tuna officer dedicated kwenye masuala ya diaspora, ndio kazi yake hiyo. Lakini sio yeye tu, hata mimi mwenyewe hatuna boundaries, hatuna urasimu. You can reach out to me, namba yangu inajulikana, email yangu inajulikana. Kwa hiyo we can always support pale ambapo inawezekana kusupport. Asante.
Okay, nashukuru sana. Thank you.
Mheshimiwa Balozi.
Naam.
Just to add there, sorry for that, just to add, we are having really, despite the government initiative to establish a diaspora digital hub, the response has been really very low. To date, you are having a total of registered diasporas 1,403. In reality, that number is very low, so that doesn't represent really the estimate which you have across the globe. So we will really encourage everybody, especially as the special status will be coming on board, really everybody to register. No. How do the government knows the people? No, while the number you have today, after almost more than 1 year, the number is just 1,403. We'll be encouraging everybody to register, put your information, and then it can make life easy in terms of reaching out. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Justin. Justin is the director of Diaspora in the Foreign Ministry, and the data is giving here is the current data of diaspora who have been registered to the portal. So we encourage all the diaspora to register on this digital platform that is available by the Foreign Ministry. Mercy?
Elizabeth, due recognition of the questions that have just been raised in the past two presenters, maybe we, with your leave, if we could play the short message from Mo Dewji and then take on some more questions.
Go ahead.
In a few minutes. Thank you. Technical team?
Say it again, we can't hear you.
I was reaching out to my technical team. Can you please play the video short message from Mohammed Dewji, please?
Okay. Some of you, just to let you know, if you are using browser and the other small devices, you may have issues with the audio. So if you do, please, we'll post this on the chat for everyone to see and on the social medias as well. So I'm going to play.
Greetings from Tanzania. Hope you're well. Let me start introducing myself. My name is Mohammed Dewji. I'm the president of METL Group. I would like to take this opportunity to welcome all the Tanzanian diaspora to this fantastic conference. Let me take this opportunity to thank the Tanzania's ambassador to England and the embassy in large for arranging this fantastic conference. Wanted to do a little bit of a background for myself. So I was born in Singida in central Tanzania. As a matter of fact, many people don't know, but I was born at home and I didn't make it to the hospital. I was born with a midwife and my mom had about 17 hours of labor. And at that time, there were no ultrasounds, so they didn't realize what was the problem. But there was an umbilical cord that was tied around my neck. And
well, technical team, the video, okay.
with God's will, I was born safely at home, and that's where my journey started. I did a little bit of high school in Arusha. I went to school in Dar es Salaam. Then I ended up finishing my high school in the US and then went to Georgetown University, where I graduated with a finance and international business major degree and a minor in theology. But all along, I always used to think while I was studying, whatever I was studying, that how does it relate to the Tanzanian people? How does it relate to the Tanzanian economy? Every Christmas, every summer that I was in school in the US, I would go back and spend time with my family, trying to help my father run his family business then. And this was the start. So the first message is where we're from. We're Tanzanian. We may have immigrated to anywhere in the world, but we have to know that it is our responsibility to go back and to try to assist in any way possible. Now, you can do assistance in terms of philanthropy, but at the same time, you have to understand Tanzania is a very well-to-do country in Africa. We are 1 million square kilometer land, much bigger than the most European countries. At the same time, we're looking at a population of 60 to 65 odd million people. When I look at the statistics and I see that Tanzania is already in the top 10 fastest growing economies in Africa. One, we are also in the top 10 in population growth. So I believe in the future, there will be a very, very, very big market for consumer goods. And there are many, many opportunities in Tanzania. Just a little bit of a background. So I run METL, and METL is a trade house where we do soft commodities, sugar, rice, fertilizer, everything from bubble gum to from air conditioner to fans. But we are also into exporting coffee, cocoa, sesame.
It does seem the whole thing is frozen. I can't hear anyone saying anything. Are we there?
Agree.
Playing. Maybe it's your device.
Well, I think there's a network challenge there. There's a proposal on the chat.
If you bring anything in terms of raw material, you pay 0% tax, and you value add, and that's the advantage you have. The third is agriculture. I believe, again, agri is the background of Tanzania. I'm into sisal, I'm into tea, I do macadamia, I do avocados. And now I'm looking at other crops to create a sovereign Tanzania, to create a Tanzania that has food security within, and we're the food basket for East Africa, for Africa and the world. So tons of opportunities on the agri side. I'm also into financial services, into insurance, into microfinance. I'm into petroleum business. I still believe that there's tons of opportunity on the fintech side, the FinServ side. I see Nigerians have done very well, and so have Kenyans, but I believe there's a lot of IT solutions using algorithms, using artificial intelligence. If you can look for a gap between what is there and what you can provide, and if that gap provides efficiency, then I think there's definitely tons of money to be made. So thank you so much, everyone. I'm sorry I was away traveling, and I'd like to thank our ambassador, who I met in London last week. Greetings from Tanzania, this conference, and he has really pushed me solutions using algorithms, using artificial intelligence. If you can look for a gap between what is there and what you can provide, and if that gap provides efficiency, then I think there's definitely tons of money to be made. So thank you so much, everyone. I'm sorry I was away traveling, and I'd like to thank our ambassador, who I met in London last week, and he really, really loves this conference, and he has really pushed me to deliver a small message. So thank you, God bless you, asanteni sana.
Mercy, go ahead.
Balozi and participants, I think it would be much easier if we posted if we posted all the videos and the details on us online and social media. We will send links in a few minutes. Since the video doesn't seem to be playing very continuously. With due cognizance of the time that we have spent here, we would like to thank you for joining us and participating. We encourage you to keep in touch with us and share with us all your questions and any other concerns that you have. This is the first of what we believe are going to be many interactions between us and the diaspora of all generations. We anticipate a second meeting. We anticipate that it will be offline in the summer of 2025, and we are looking at Zanzibar as possible congregation point for diaspora. We will communicate details in full in due course, and we hope that you will once again join us in making connections and links with home and taking the chance of showing the second generation and other generations Tanzania at its best. I would like to take an opportunity to thank all the presenters. I know all of them are standing ready to answer any questions and any concerns that you may raise. And to that effect, I would like to share contact details for the diaspora officers at the High Commission, Mr. Ali Mtanda, who you can email at tanzania@tzhc.uk, or personally through his work email at a.mtanda@tzhc.uk. I'm going to post these off online before we sign off. And you can likewise copy Ms. Ngusekela Nyerere at n.nyerere@tzhc.uk. I would like to welcome the High Commissioner if he does have anything to add before we sign off.
Asante sana Messi. Let me use this opportunity to express my sincere appreciation to all of you who have attended this forum today. We've taken much of your time, over 2 hours, but still you've remained until the end. We thank you for contributions, questions that you've asked that would be very, very useful in our work as we coordinate matters related to diaspora. And we thank very much our presenters, all of them, Mr. Lawrence Mafuru from Executive Secretary Planning Commission. I know he even missed his flight today so that he may attend this forum. But also I thank Mr. Emmanuel Mashamba and Farida for their presentation about investment opportunities in Zanzibar. I thank Gilia Terry, Executive Director of TIC. But also I thank participants online, Dr. Idris Elba and Mohamed Deuji for their contribution. And I thank Naomi for a very inspiring presentation. I couldn't expect less, and you have delivered up to the highest standard, and I'm sure you've inspired many. And I hope we'll continue to engage. I thank all the people who asked questions, all the people who are following up. We thank you so much. And as Mes mentioned, we will continue with these engagements. We hope the Foreign Minister will be visiting UK and will arrange for a forum whereby he will have the opportunity to take more questions, but also provide more detailed briefing about what's happening back in Tanzania. And Also, I encourage all of you to follow up on Tanzania Link website portal that will be launched in July. I think all the opportunities, fursa zote, will be posted there. So make sure you are registered and be updated with whatever opportunities that will be presenting, be it job opportunities, scholarship opportunities, trade investment opportunities, and so on. But also, I encourage all the diaspora to register on the Ministry of Foreign Affairs digital portal so that we may be able to capture all the information. So whenever there's a need, we need certain skills, we could use that portal to identify and reach out to the diaspora out there. With regards to the issue of Hadhi Maalum and the special status, as Minister well elaborated, we hope Parliament will pass the law at the earliest possible time. And after that, there will be public education so that people may understand more details of what does it take, what does it entail, what is required in order to be able to apply for such status. I know there have been a lot of questions about dual citizenship. You know, the minister mentioned that this is a long journey, it's a beginning, and this is the first step. The fact that we have special status, that is the first step, and we remain hopeful that in the future, when things go well, and probably we may have a dialogue and we build a case for that. But let's start with this first step. Let's see how it works and the benefit brings, and then we may go for further dialogue, which would lead to what we desire. So let us be patient. Let us be hopeful. And if there is any contribution, any input we want to provide, our High Commission will be ready to receive those and convey to the government. Otherwise, asanteni sana, nawatakieni usiku mwema na kila la heri. Asanteni sana.
Asante sana Mheshimiwa Balozi. Asanteni kila mtu. Jioni njema.
Jioni njema.
Okay, bye.
Bye.
Wow.